say because I'm just going to jinx it, right? What I will say is we ordered the rain today, so we didn't have much of that later on in the summer. So that's the plan. Today's typically a really cool day and a launching point. I think all of you would agree with that. For many things and for many reasons, but three aspects always jump out. One is it's the official announcement of Mile of Music. It's the and the Mile 12 Festival in this case. It's the size and scope will be similar, and we hope the vibe will be too. And we're going to get into a little bit of that shortly. Two, it's also the launch of our official push for critical funding, for volunteers, and for the overall strategic partners that help make the festival happen every year. Many of them are in this room. All of you are supporters. We appreciate that greatly. We can never thank you enough. It's been the difference over the 12 years. As difficult as it's been every year to try to make it happen and get it to where it needs to be, we know that we have so many people behind us, and we have legions of folks that are behind us, not just because they're music fans, but because they're community fans and they love our community and love the cool stuff that happens, whether it's Mile of Music, the downtown concerts, the farm market, all the different things that happen here in Appleton. So it's that push. We have 90 days before the festival, and it's always a critical time for us, and we greatly appreciate that continual extensive help we get in making it happen, especially over the next 90 days. It's pretty cool to watch how we continue to ask people for stuff and they continue to say yes. So I don't know how that works, but and it's a lot of little things, it's a lot of big things. So thank you. It's also for our fans and followers, this day always becomes the day, and that's for whether they're from around the corner or whether they're from around the country or whether they're from around the world. We heard from a couple of our international fans the other day, which was cool, wanting to know when this was going to happen. So, but it marks the beginning of the homework stretch, right? So it marks the time when we reveal the first 50, there'll be 150-ish more, but it's the research, the previewing, the itinerary planning that takes place starting from here on out. And I only know that because we've heard it for 12 years, but I continue to hear it with our stuff that we do at Gibson. People come in and say, we can't wait for May 1st because we got to start doing our planning and see what shows we want to see. And I know that oftentimes it's kind of like the buffet where the eyes are bigger than the stomach in terms of everybody plans for these 45 things and maybe gets to do 30 of them, but that's still pretty cool. So thank you. We do have some quick facts that we wanted to share with you, and that's kind of an annual thing. Feel free to. So the estimated attendance we think will be around that number again this year. It's we make the joke every year that we get asked on Saturday how many people, and we say, well, we stopped counting on Friday afternoon because it's pretty difficult to figure out. But we do feel that that's going to be similar. We might get a bump this year for lots of reasons, including, of course, the PBS broadcast, which by all indications should air sometime in summer and right before the festival. So that might make a difference. We'll see. I think it will. We have 200-ish artists, again, we'll have 650 sets of music, 30 plus stages or venues. Music education returning again. We hope it'll be around the $7 to $8 million in economic impact. Our volunteer information will launch in May. I know a lot of you and a lot of our fans wait till the schedule comes out to do some of their last minute volunteering, but I know many of you volunteer for certain things and then you volunteer for even more later. So we appreciate that very much. Let's see. Next slide if we can. So one of the things I wanted to talk about a little bit real quickly is, and first of all, big thanks to our hosts today, the 513. Could we give them a round of applause? Teresa, Tessa's over there, and she's very helpful to us every year. This is our second year doing it. It's a great spot. How many of you have a chance to get in during the festival to see shows here during the festival? I usually get to slide in too. It's a great location. We're so lucky to have developed with our venue hosts and venue friends. John and Sharon over there from Evans, raise your hand. Go ahead. higher than that, so thank you. One of our great rock and roll venues, and it's just, it's neat to see how they've evolved and how we have different kind of cool little spaces popping up, like Jim's Place, Wooden Nickel, which it was difficult for us for years to try to do music there, and then all of a sudden it was like, well, let's try it outside, and then all of a sudden it was like, that's working pretty well. We're going to continue to, Rookies, you know, has just, there's such great folks to work with, and they've been knocking it out of the park, and there's many, many others, as you know, but 30-some stages that we have again this year, but special thanks to the folks here for helping us out with this. Today marks our rallying point, and it's the full sprint toward this year's Mile of Music for us as a team, and it includes that, like I mentioned before, it's kind of that organizational and implementation efforts, it's the volunteer recruitment, and most importantly, that fundraising push over the last 90 days. We've had a very unique vibe in the past because, in part because it's free. And I know we've debated every year whether we need to start charging something, whether we need, because to make this happen, it's very difficult from a financial standpoint. But the feeling of folks being able to make their way around the downtown from venue to venue and having that ability to get in to see shows and to sample and to discover and to provide that adventure that goes with it is such a critical piece that we want to keep trying to make that work as and it's also gotten, as you know, international attention because it's this very large yet somehow free festival. But as we always say, it's free to attend but not free to produce. And so I'd like to bring up Nancy Krieger from Appleton Community Music. She's going to talk real briefly about their continued role in what we do as a festival. A few years back we were able to establish Appleton Community Music, and it's been extremely helpful to us as we move forward in the planning process. So say hi to Nancy.
I really appreciate all of you being here. I mean, I recognize, I think, virtually everybody who's here. And I know a lot of you attend Gibson regularly, which is just a fantastic thing. And you contribute, so thank you. I'm the president of the Appleton Community Board, which is, Appleton Community Music is the nonprofit that supports Mile of Music. And what we specifically do, our goal is to try to pay all of the artist fees for Mile, pay their food, lodging, pay music education. And our budget is $395,000 for doing that. So far we've earned 200. So we have a ways to go. There are still some potential larger donors out there, but I mean, this is really important to the community. And so we are hopeful that the community will support this. I'll tell you that when I moved back to this area in 1979, I had grown up in Neenah. I thought I'd never come back to the Fox Valley. That was the last thing on my mind, but I did. And in 1979, this area was kind of lacking in cultural stuff. And since then, it has vastly improved. And things like Mile of Music are one of the best things that have happened to this area. And I know people who have moved here specifically because of Mile of Music and the music scene it creates in downtown, year-round. And one of the things that's great about this festival is it helps the economy, it helps our area's reputation on a national level, and it's great for people who live and work here. And I think it's great for corporations and businesses to try to attract people to this area. And it's also great for the artists who talk about this being the best place for them to play. People actually listen to the music, they appreciate what they're doing, they have, you know, the people who attend appreciate a variety of music, and all of that is so important. And those artists come back all through the year. They come back to Gibson for Rhythms and Brews, and almost, I mean, I don't think anyone has ever come back and not said, this is our favorite place to play. And we're talking musicians from LA, Chicago, New York, and they say they like playing here more than anyone else, anywhere else in the country. And musicians come here from outside the US. So I just want to say community support here is important. Mile of Music is one of the best things this area has going for it, but we need individual and business help. And so if you know folks out there, because I know most of you already have donated, but if you know people who love Mile and have not, encourage them to go to appletoncommunitymusic.org and donate so we can keep this going. Thanks.
Wow, I don't think I'll say anything more about that. That was awesome. So thank you, Nancy. Appreciate that. I will note that we will be, again, when we say it's a 90-day sprint, it's actually 94 days or whatever, because we worked that effort all the way through the festival. And many of you help with that. Many of you are supporters in that way, but you're also out there during the festival letting people know about the fact that they can make donations and so on. We'll be doing that. We'll have some really cool spaces this year where you can walk by and be able to make tell your friends and the people that are coming with you to make a donation. We hear all the time about how folks have invited their brothers and their sisters and their adult kids and their best friends and so forth to come back. And I don't think we've heard about exes yet, but that's coming. But they invite them back, and they invite them to come to the festival, and this is that time to maybe twist their arm a little bit and say, hey, you can also help support it with a quick donation during the festival. We'll be doing that all the way up through the festival. Very tasteful ways, very fun ways as well, with pop-up music and so forth, so watch for some of that. We're so appreciative of all the community support and supporters who have banded together to make the mile happen over the 12 years. We're also appreciative of a number of the local businesses and tourism leaders who currently are working with us on a long-term plan. So I want to make you aware of that. That's in the process of being done so that this thing is around for, I'd like to say forever, but it's around for years and years to come. So, and many of them are in the room tonight or today, and we appreciate their efforts to help kind of make this special weekend something that we can look at many years into the future. So we're excited today because part of the process, as you know, is to do the first 50. After the first 50, we're going to get a treat. Jacob Fannin, who's right over there, and many of you know Jacob, is going to play a couple songs for us. We've asked him for a special request. One of them is one of our favorite songs of his, and then the other one I think it's going to be maybe something a little newer that you're working on. Yeah, and he is your bonus artist today because he is number 51, right? So let's watch the first 50. We're very excited. Then Ian's going to pop up, and we're going to give you a little bit more information about as you watch through. Because it kind of goes through pretty quick, but we're going to talk a little bit about some of the artists. So here's our first 50 for Mile 12.
Show you
say that it's a culmination of a lot of work for Ian, but he's just getting started. Now he's down in the war room working on the schedule. Please welcome to the podium, Ian Thompson.
Well, hello. What'd you think? Yeah, a lot of discovery, a lot of returners. There's some returners in there that have not been here in a minute. So we're very fortunate to have them coming back. They all reached out and said, hey, it's been a while. We'd like to come back. Can we? And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. You notice the Kentucky Gentlemen are from Nashville. There's a lot of artists from Nashville these days. 19 of them, to be exact, in the first 50 here. But that gets, it just shows the connection we have to Music City, USA, to little Appleton, Music City up here. We're very proud of that. And I know it's been mentioned with Nancy and Dave. You guys, like I say that we're a part of an ecosystem, right? The music industry is one big ecosystem. And you all out there here today, thank you for spending your time today with us. Thank you all for tuning in, watching. But being a part of this ecosystem means that you are part of the Milan music community. And it's going to take all of us to continue to make this thing happen for, like Dave said, many years to come. Because the worst thing that we could have on College Avenue the first week in August is... Yeah, I don't like silence either. I like to live loud and rock and roll, so... A couple of things about the artist that you saw there. Chris Matthews, a couple fun facts here for you guys. Chris Matthews, who's an incredible singer-songwriter, won the Folk Alliance, or Folk International Award for Best Artist, or Artist of the Year, for 2025. So, if you haven't seen her, then just that accolade alone, you're gonna really enjoy what she does. Rabbitology on there has amassed a massive following in her very young career. Just a couple of quick stats. She has over 64,000 followers on TikTok, another 127,000 people following her on Instagram, 251,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. All but 3 of her songs on Spotify have amassed over 1 million streams. And she hasn't even graduated college yet. She'll be doing that in a few weeks from the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor. Kristen Andreasen and Chris Eldridge. Some of you are familiar. They've been here last mile 10. But I just wanted to highlight some of their accomplishments. Kristen is a singer-songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, dancer, and music teacher. She also created what's called the Miles of Music Camp for children in New Hampshire, along with Mile 7 alumni, Kristen Cortese. Chris Critter Eldridge is a Grammy Award-winning artist from the Punch Brothers, also co-founder of Infamous String Dusters, and he's also part of a super bluegrass group called Mighty Poplar. So it's pretty cool to have a Grammy Award-winning artist who is genuine, a good human, and raves about this festival to not only every time I see him, but to his colleagues and other people from around the world, and just absolutely wanted to be back here, and they made it a mission to come back to see us again this year. Kaki King, here's a quote. There are some, I'm going to try to read this here, sorry Jess. There are some guitar players that are good, and then there are guitar players that are really good, and then there's Kaki King. That was David Grohl. She's recorded with the Foo Fighters, toured with the Foo Fighters. She's even performed and helped with the music score with Eddie Vedder and Sean Penn in the 2000 film Into the Wild. She is a multi-instrumentalist, guitarist, and composer. So if you like guitar and intricate guitar, Kaki King is definitely worth checking out. Megan, you saw how that was spelled there. that is the combination and the duo project from Megan Slankard and Megan Farrell, two Mile Music artists, who actually became very quick friends and met in person here at Mile 10, and then decided, hey, you're cool, let's write some music together, and we're going to create this project called Megan. So very excited to have that here for the festival. Chestnut Grove, right? A little bit of a hiatus, coming back. The core of Dee, James, and John. We welcoming Shannon and Jared to the band, and they cannot wait to show those two what Appleton is all about. So we're looking forward to having them come back with new music too. The Delta Routine, celebrating 20 years as a band and playing a few shows this summer, and they highlight Mile Music as being one of those shows to celebrate their 20-year anniversary. McKinley James, saw some of you rocking out to that. His 2021 critically acclaimed record, Still Something By, was co-produced by Dan Auerbach from the Black Keys. They had such a great working relationship, they decided to do it all over again for McKinley's latest record as well. So you're going to hear a little bit of Black Keys sound in his music, as well as that rockabilly sound. So very excited to have him up here. And then, of course, Wild Adriatic, right? Healthy was a new record called Wild Adriatic, and they're really looking forward to coming back to a place where they belong. It's right here in Appleton. Just really another quick thing, as I mentioned earlier, 19 artists from Nashville in the first 50 alone. We will have 5 artists from Canada, 2 artists from the UK, 1 artist from Australia, and a total of 24 artists, including the state of Wisconsin, and 1 from District of Columbia for the entire lineup. So, looking forward to having some fun. And thank you all for being here. Let's continue supporting Mile Music. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that the first 50, I think, represents 15 states from different for the artists, and it'll be 24 when the full lineup comes out. We're always excited to have the artists coming from all over the country, but we're also excited when we, I think it was maybe even 4 or 5 years ago already, when Doug from Gibson, who was working the door, that he started tracking all the IDs he was doing. And it was pretty cool because it was 46 of the 50 states were represented. And I know since that time we have fans coming from all 50 states and beyond that. And thank you for spreading the word, letting your relatives know, and making this a weekend where people like to come back to Appleton. It's always a pride point for the team when we hear those types of things. We're excited to have Jacob Fannin joining us for a couple of songs. I did want to mention real quick that we will be coming up with some different and unique ways to announce our sponsors and supporters for this year. We sometimes start to mention them here, and then I get in trouble because we can't mention all 70 or 80 of them. So it's incredibly important to us that these sponsors have helped us over the 12 years, partners, and it's, I always say that when people call us from around the country, we have different communities who call us and say, can you help us get started? We'd like to do something like Mile Music. And Ian's pointed out some other audiences we've had that there's a couple of festivals now around the country that are doing some things like Artist Care and so forth. And how cool is that, right? So they're taking the lead, but we're very proud of that. But it's really important to us, the partnerships that we've been able to form. And I always say that there's certain things about the relationships we have, whether it's the hotel, whether it's Appleton Downtown Inc., whether it's the Convention and Visitor Bureau, that you're probably not going to find in a lot of other places. So I kind of warn them. It's kind of like when the artists say to us they want to move here, and we just say, well, come to Appleton in January for a week, just because we want you to move here, but we want you to move here with your eyes wide open, right? We want you to experience everything. And so some of them have done that. Some of them are still considering moving here, which is great. But it really is important from the standpoint of kind of how these partnerships have formed and the work that and the willingness of these partners to make cool stuff happen to make the festival happen, because it isn't just the Mile team, it isn't just all of us in this room. It's, as you know, it's 4,000 pairs of hands is what we estimated. When the Rolling Stone article came out, we talked about it with the media. This is a whole community thing. So thank you for that. And I know several of the sponsors are in the room, including a couple of new sponsors. Can't tell you how important that is to us. So thank you. And I can also tell you that it's important to the artists, because the artists, and Jacob will talk about this a little bit in between his two songs, about kind of his feelings about the festival and so forth. Please welcome up to we thought we'd do it a little bit more informal, a little bit more kind of busker-ish here. We also wanted Gary to have the best seat in the house. Because Gary provides us with the vans every year, and you know, the really cool, all that cool stuff, and many other things that he does for us. I would tell you that he's one you want to call when you need stuff done, because he's always wanted to do it, but I'm not going to tell you that because then our secret's out. So I can't tell you that. But please welcome to this wonderful space we have here, Jacob Fan.
What's up, everyone? Yes, that was my guitar in every picture that you took. Yeah, happy opening day. I'm a big baseball fan, but this one's just a little bit better, I think, for all those positions. Your breath just for a minute of your time. Take the chance, close your eyes, keep your hand in mine as we stroll along this sidewalk on this pathway in this park where we can turn off our cell phones to stop the time. You open your eyes just as I close mine. It's a perfect syncopated game. Our lives and minds move just the same, and I absolutely so you pick out the spot with the perfect view, just the moon and the stars and me and you as one, sitting on a park bench here, waiting for Orion to appear. We have some showers of all the meteoric kind that can go along. I wish I could paint you this scene, just a starry night with you and me in love, 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 love. Absolutely, I wish that I could take your hand, hold it so you understand. I'm never letting go. I'm never letting go. I wish that I could frame that smile and lift me up through all my trials, and I hope that you know. I hope that you know I'm in. I'm in. It's in the dance of the trees and the night's cool breeze. The clouds are swaying, contemplating, joining in the night's routine. When every night's a hallmark scene, step by step, we're side by side, rolling on this coaster ride. It's funny how this love game goes. You stop, you drop, you begin to roll in love, 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 love. Absolutely, wish that I could take your hand, hold it so you understand. I'm never letting go. I'm never letting go. I wish that I could frame that smile and lift me up through all my trials, and I hope that you know. I hope that you know I'm No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, so the Mile of Music, it's a crazy thing, right? So it's such a unique situation, and you all know this. Like I'm repeating things you know, but from the artist perspective, it's such a unique situation because we're not coming to this festival necessarily as artists, but we're coming as fans as well. Because there's just so few situations across the country where we can go play, and then we become the audience, and we get to go and see so many peers and so many different bands and musicians that we play a lot, right? So we don't get to see a lot of live music because the days we play are the days that there's live music, right? So it's such a unique opportunity where we feel empowered to be musicians and artists.
Test, test, test.
Being an artist from the Valley, it's a prideful thing because it's the coolest music festival in the country and it's in our backyard, right? So, super grateful. I've played. I think I've been a part of 7 or 8 of these now, and super grateful to be back again this year and everything. So, thank you all again for 1, being here, 2, always being here. Whether it's down the street at Gibson's, whether it's the weekend of the Mile, but. From a Fox Valley resident's perspective and from an artist's perspective, what a cool thing. And obviously you guys are a big part of that, so congrats to you all as well. It's a cool thing, so thank you. This is a song, this is the one that Dave kind of mentioned was requested a little bit, so Walt Disney. I grew up in a big family. That's how my mom babysat us a lot of times because we have 7,000 siblings. So she put Disney movies on TV and that would take care of like half of us while she corralled me like that. So I was in a little bit, in some ways I was raised by that man. Yeah. And so this song is just a reflection of that and why my brain's kind of wired differently because I was raised by movie characters. So it's called Walt Disney Did This to Me. I believe in a little thing that they call love. This head over heels, my heart is racing, kind we all dream of. And I know that's kind of sad, so I'll try my very best to explain. Do you remember Peter Pan, the pixie man, he flew his way to Neverland, all just on a notion that he never will grow up. This girl who is starving, she's Wendy, she's darling. Salt to his pepper, leave his sight, he never let her in. And some might say they were as different as could be, but we're together, Peter truly felt like he could fly, he could fly, he could fly, he could fly. Do you remember Belle? She was a beauty, and the prince had probably knew that he was destined for a life under this terrible spell. But the personification of his common household nation proved to Belle she loved this beast, and proved the beast loved her as well. And now, and isn't that the reason why we wake up every day? We paint a target on our backs and let you of the water, future queen under the sea. He was a prince up on the mainland, he was searching for beauty. So she traded in her voice for a pair of legs and for some sunsets. And she came to shore one day and she was hoping to get to meet him, and in her Miami ways greet him. Who would have thought all it took was a blue lagoon? There you see her, she's sitting there across the way. She don't got a lot to say, but there's something about her. And you don't know why, but you're dying to try. You wanna kiss that girl. And as far as I can tell, Lady and the tramp are still together, and I guess that proves spaghetti kisses last forever. Here's my hand, do you trust me? It's a magical ride. We have to have you home by midnight, or our carriage will turn into October's declaration. But that's no surprise. The mirror told us it would happen. You should never take an apple from a lady in the woods. That's an awful spot for retail, so you know she was up to no good, my love. But it's okay. Happy ever after is the name of this game. And I admit that I've been brainwashed, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I started on this diet of Disney, and it's filled my glass up way past halfway. Yeah. Walt Disney, what have you done? This is all your fault. I believe in a little thing that they call love. This head over heels, my heart is racing, can we all dream of? Thank you all so much. Happy Mile of Music season, everyone. Thank you.
We wanted to give you a taste, a couple of songs. Let's see, that kicks us off. So 650 sets, maybe on the average of what, 8 songs per set, maybe 9, but 8 songs per set. Does that put us at about 5,000 songs? So it'll be about 5,000 songs during Mile of Music. Why can't I say 5,000? 5,000. So one more round of applause for Nick. Just wanted to thank all of you for being here, but also for being supporters. Wanted to thank the Mile of Music team and the extended Mile of Music team that's here. They're part of the Mile of Music team, and that's Jess Grimm and Gary Bomber and Jake back there. You all know him as Jake over at Gibson. We really appreciate him being part of Jake Morris. I missed some folks probably, but I really, in particular, wanted to mention them in addition to the team here that's on the screen. We're just getting started for this year. Been a lot of work so far. We know you all feel the same. Happy homework, everybody, and feel free to hang around for a little bit. We're going to do some interviews and so forth, but feel free to ask some questions. Ian didn't just run out the door right away, so I think you received him very well today in terms of his first 50. So thank you, Ian, for all the work.